Alrighty, guys, we're back for Simic Turtles, and this is an Aetherdrift standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have all four Aegis Turtles. It's just a 1 blue mana 0/5. And that's it. That's all it has to be. It's going to pair beautifully with cards like Bedrock Tortoise. It's a 4 mana 0/6 during your turn. Creatures you control have hexproof, but that's not why it's in here. It's in here for this bottom ability. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Awesome stuff, dude. Kind of the main build around. Not the last of the turtles, though. We do have a Greenshell here on the top end. Not going to take the time to go over it right now. We also have 3, the Pride of Hall Clades. This is an 11 mana 2/15 legendary creature. It does cost X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. So it should be really easy to get this down to just 1 green mana in this build. But even if you don't get it down to 1 green mana, you're not going to be mad to get it down to like 3 mana or something. A 2/15? That's some serious stats. That blocks everything. Now it does have Defender. It has this bottom ability for 2 and double blue. Until end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0. Gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. You draw cards equal to its toughness. Holy cow. And it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So that actually lets you target itself with this ability as well. And maybe draw 15 cards, which would be super unnecessary. When do you ever need 15 cards in your hand? I guess you never know though, right? All right, enough about Pride of Hall Clade. What about our other toughness greater than power creatures? How about this brand new Coral Tyrant? This is a 2 mana 0/8 legendary creature. I'm sorry, should I read that again? 2 mana 0/8 legendary creature. Holy cow, dude. It's an octopus? Octopus turtle? No, unfortunately, it's just an octopus, but still, that's crazy, man. That's some crazy stats on that. All of a sudden, 1 creature on the board and Pride of Hall Clade costs 8 less to cast. There you go. It's 3 mana. It's ready for next turn, I suppose. Yeah, no other ability. I think it'll be completely fine. And of course, if you have Coral Tyrant on the board with Bedrock Tortoise, the opponent might be sweating. Don't worry, we have ways to give it trample too. Overprotect ought to do it. Also just acting as protection in here. Also Trash the Town is another way to give trample to our creatures. Also acting as some card draw in here. What about other creatures that have toughness greater than power? Well, we have some ramp with Armored Scrapgorger being a 0/3 fitting that theme. Also some graveyard hate should go a long way when we're seeing so much reanimation. What if you're missing the Bedrock Tortoise? Well, then you're in trouble, right? How are you going to get all that extra damage through with 0 power creatures? That's why Sharp-Eyed Rookie made the cut. This is a 2 mana 2/2 Vigilance. Whenever a creature you control enters, if its power is greater than this creature's power, or toughness is greater than this creature's toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and you investigate as well. It's actually really cool, right? So you can drop like 3 Aegis Turtles out of your hand and you're boosting the Sharp-Eyed Rookie every single time, and the extra clues should really come in handy too. If we end up having extra mana laying around, which we very well might with the ramp on Scrapgorger, but we also have ramp on Llanowar Elves. Also not fitting that whole toughness greater than power theme, but just like extra early ramp should really, really come in handy. Also opens up the possibility for a turn 2 Pride of Hall Clade, which would look like a turn 1 Llanowar Elves and a turn 2 double Aegis Turtle. And then you tap the Llanowar Elves for your green source for the Pride of Hall Clade, which is pretty disgusting, right? But also probably pretty rare, because everything has to line up perfectly, including your early mana, which would probably have to be dual lands at that point. Or you'd have to have at least 1 dual land, I suppose, and then another island. Yeah, either way, it's not going to happen very often. Speaking of the mana base, guys, Botanical Sanctum and all of the Willowrush Verge as well. A couple Hedge Maze and a Demolition Field too. We do have this split between islands and forests, but we're looking at the Verge as just more islands at that point too. So hopefully we landed on something good with the mana base. Anyways, guys, the rest of the deck list is actually opting for tempo. We have 4 Bounce Off, a couple Into the Flood Maws, and a couple Spell Pierce as well. Hopefully the tempo side of things really works out. No honorable mentions today. What at the very least should have made the cut as an honorable mention? Let me know down in the comments. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? It should be super duper janky. But it'd be nice if the deck list proved me wrong, right? But no, it should be pretty janky. I do like this first hand though. Are we going to be able to get that Bedrock Tortoise on time? That's the question. Enough tempo to last us a few turns. I would have preferred, I guess, double blue in hand or more dual land. I think we're fine. I think we'll find more dual lands and everything anyways. There's a lot to draw into here that would just be excellent. Yeah. Let's see what ends up happening. Oh no, not the cut down. Not the cut down on my poor 0-5. Okay, they are going to wait. All right, there we go. There we go. Double blue on the board now. And nothing with the turtle. Do we swing? No, we don't swing. That'd be funny though. Yeah, I don't mind seeing mana at all. I'll protect my turtle. It's going to be a beast of a card once the tortoise is down, huh? I hope that's worth it. But when I only have tortoise in hand, I'm pretty sure that's worth it. We're just trading out the bounce off for a creature is essentially how that's working. Okay, tapped land, good news. Spell Pierce. Don't mind seeing that at all, I guess. That's a good way to protect the turtle, although I'd rather protect the tortoise when it comes time, but we'll see what else this Spell Pierce can do, because against Dimir, it would be great to keep Spell Pierce for when it's time for their deadly cover-up. Preacher of the Schism. Right. We could probably tempo that back to their hand, right? Worth it. I'm going to go into the Flood Maw and still keep Bounce Off as a card that can protect our own creatures. Hedge Maze. It's a tapped land, unfortunately, and one of the only tapped lands in here. Second Tortoise, I'm keeping that. Actually, more Sanctums would have come out tapped that turn too, so I shouldn't say that the Maze was the only tapped, but yeah. All right, we pass it back. Really, really slow start. Maybe I should have dropped the mulligan, but I mean, we have a turtle on the board, and I think that's all that matters. Win or lose, look at how long this little turtle has endured. Oh, man. Looks like they might keep the 4 open, which is terrible news for us, guys. They're anticipating a counterspell here. Or they're anticipating our turn with a counterspell, is my guess. I don't know how I want to say that. They have a counterspell open. There we go. There we go. So I think the double Bedrock Tortoise. Yeah. Yeah, we still try it, don't we? We still try it. It breaks my heart, but if it lands, our creatures are about to have hexproof for our turn, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure they have something here. Unless it's not a counterspell and they kept open... Oh. Okay, a flash creature maybe. Because if they let it land, they would have wanted to drop removal on the turtle before the swing, unless it's their only removal in hand, in which case they're saving it for their turn to pop the Bedrock Tortoise. In which case our second tortoise is really going to come in handy either way. Okay. Ah, it was a flash creature. Okay, I thought for sure it was going to be a counterspell when they passed it back and didn't play the Preacher of the Schism. But no, Enduring Curiosity, we do see that. Does Bedrock Tortoise survive? Spyglass Siren. Okay, Dimir Tempo. We see a good variety of Dimir deck lists, guys. We really do. They keep a Spyglass Siren on top, and they still got 3 mana open. Is it going to be Preacher of the Schism? No, it's not going to be. Demolition Field, I don't mind more mana at all. With our creatures having hexproof, they could double block. Curiosity comes back. They still got 3. Bounce Off and Spell Pierce open. Double block a tortoise, and then we just play the second tortoise. Seems pretty good, right? Let's try this. And then we'll have Spell Pierce open for a Deadly Cover-Up turn or something, which I think Dimir Tempo still runs. They're going to go for that double block, yeah. So we could also tempo with Bounce Off. Bounce the Curiosity. That's also pretty good, isn't it? And then we don't have to play the second Tortoise. Curiosity. What's the best play here, guys? Get him down to 9. If we save this Tortoise and play Tortoise number 2 right into a Deadly Cover-Up, we're just like out of this game. But if we just let this die, play second Tortoise, and keep the Spell Pierce open, if we just don't know if they have Deadly Cover-Up's the main problem, right? Okay. Okay, we're going to go for the Spell Pierce play. How do you guys feel about that? I hope that's okay. Curiosity comes back as an enchantment. We attempt the other Tortoise now. I'm scared. It's going to be a Tidebinder. Okay. Activated or triggered ability. That's doing nothing. Okay. But they got a flash creature down, I guess, is the main point here. So if we don't Spell Pierce for the turn, we're going to try our Dandiest to get rid of some of their blockers. We don't want to forget that we have Demolition Field for their Restless Reef when it comes time. Okay, it was not a Deadly Cover-Up, so they are getting a lot of chump blockers down. I think we're going to tempo the Preacher of the Schism over the Tidebinder for sure. Still got one card in hand. Let's see where the map token goes. Onto the Siren. Okay. It's going to be a Flood Pit's Drowner on top. Still got one card. All right. I'm going to go for the tempo then. We're going to bounce the Preacher of the Schism. I got 2 blockers. Wow. Another bounce off is not half bad, is it? Although their double block now would be into Turtle. We still get to do both of these anyway, so we definitely full swing. We're forcing blocks. At least a chump here, but they could double block the Aegis Turtle. When they play... Okay, they're going to chump the Tortoise. They're going to chump. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. They also have Soulstone Sanctuary here, Restless Reef. We have Demolition Field open for the turn, which I guess we could do now. Right? We still have 2 blue for our hand then as well. I'll grab an island, especially based on our hand. You guys like the Restless Reef play or the Soulstone Sanctuary play? I don't know. I think Restless Reef makes more sense to me, especially with the Death Touch. I guess that depends. Because this costs 4 mana and it's a permanent 3/3. But then they wouldn't be able to play the Preacher of the Schism for the turn either. Also, yeah, okay. They have 7 on the board now, so Spell Pierce wouldn't have helped us against a Deadly Cover-Up, so... Although Spell Pierce does help us against Kaito, and then we just tempo out the Preacher of the Schism and swing for 11 next turn. Oh, Pride of Hallclade on top. Okay. Man, we really did the whole tempo side of things there, didn't we? Holy cow. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Next game. I have nothing to say about that. I think it spoke for itself there. I don't think it's usually going to work out that well, but I will say this. Against the right deck list, that hexproof on our turn can be devastating. As now they have to completely change how they play the game all of a sudden against the right deck list, right? Usually they just pass back and stuff. So, like, Flood Pit's Drowner on their turn is much worse than on our turn. Just little things like that. Okay, we try this. Opponent goes first. We have a blocker for their mouse. Well, it's not going to be a mouse, but that's okay. Storm Chaser's talent. We have a blocker for their otter. Spell Pierce. Be all right to keep open. I think we're gonna still go turn 1 Llanowar Elves, see what happens to it. We don't need the ramp for what we have in hand, but we could easily draw into something that we'd love the ramp for, so. Oh, Jeskai colors, guys. That's a little bit scary. Okay, Greenshell. And we could still go, now we can go Verge, or Hedge Mage instead of the Verge, and still get the Coral Tyrant down. We could still consider keeping Spell Pierce open too, though. Another Spell Pierce. I actually don't like, I don't want the second one right now. I hope I don't regret that. Let's see what happens to our Coral Tyrant. It lands. It's a 0/8, bro. I'm down. It blocks everything forever, opponent. No more swings for you. Oh no, it can't block in the air though. Oh no. Okay, bounce off. Oh, Oculus in the grave. Uh-oh. It's too bad the Greenshell wasn't our tortoise. Overprotect. They probably... We do have 4 mana for top ability on Trash the Town and bottom ability. I wonder if they block. I wouldn't mind drawing 2 here, but I think we need to keep the Spell Pierce open. Just tempo. All the tempo open. I guess. We got to stop the Oculus from coming back. I know that much. But if they play mana, we're not going to stop it anyway. Crap. Crap. Okay, well, Bounce Off is still in hand, which is very important. Yeah, they're going to swing in the air. Helping Hand. Yet we can't counter it with the Spell Pierce, unfortunately. So what ends up happening is, I guess at the end here, we'll go Bounce Off on the Oculus, which is actually a really good bounce off target. And then now if they have a counterspell, we might be able to counter their counterspell. Okay, they didn't. A little bit of an awkward turn, but I'm okay with it. Ooh, Pride of Hall Clade. 2 mana, huh? Nice. Very nice. I'll play it. I think I'll use Llanowar Elves. Green mana for it, too. It lands, no issues. No issues at all. Okay. That's the turn. A little bit awkward, but... 5th mana from the opponent, guys. Gonna be another Steam Core Scholar. They still got 2 open. I have a feeling this Spell Pierce might come in handy this turn, huh? Maybe. Oculus to the grave. Oh, that's probably worthwhile. Oh no, but I'd rather... No, while they're tapped out, while we have the chance here... Yeah, oh, I don't know. Okay, so they would have drawn no maximum hand size. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, you put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn, -1. Okay, so we can... Let's see. Can use the Pride of Hall Clade's ability and swing. They probably just block. Maybe just get the Greenshell down and be happy that we're getting chunky creatures. Don't have any more tempo left in hand, so... Oh, Bedrock Tortoise. Nice, dude. Holy cow. Alright, let's not forget, though, that Pride of Hall Clade has Defender. So even when Tortoise comes down, sure, it's going to be a 15/15, but it has Defender for now until we use that ability. Outside of that, Coral Tyrant and a Greenshell on the board. Torch the tower. Right. Recommission. Oh no, see, the Spell Pierce actually would have worked here too because they only had 1. They almost swung, but they decided not to. They're preparing, I suppose. But look at their big chunky board now too. I don't mind more mana. I'm actually going to start with that maybe. Put it onto the battlefield tapped for the Greenshell too. So let's start with the Surveil. Bedrock Tortoise number 2. I think we just keep that, right? No worries. Only have 1 mana after the fact here. If this was an untapped mana, this would be a really good turn, right? Still could be a really good turn. I'm going to use the Llanowar Elves. Keep the Verge open. Even though we don't have anything in hand, I think it's good practice to keep a blue source open, right? Also, we could have sent the other Tortoise to try to find something else that the Verge could have done. Like, we could have found a bounce off, for example. This is probably a worthwhile swing with both of them. I'm going. I'm going, bro. Let's see what happens here. They chump, and they trade with the Greenshell. Do they plan on bringing Oculus back anyways, is the question, I suppose. Still got great blockers on the ground, and at some point they're going to want to start swinging in the air with these Scholars to get more damage through. I'm pretty sure right now we are the ones on defense, but I don't know. That's tough to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have enough to spend 4 on the Pride and give it trample with Overprotect or trash the town, but it would be Overprotect at that point, right? But they could easily find some simple removal. No, if they pass it back, we have hexproof on our turn. Okay, Helping Hand the Oculus, so they're going to get more face down cards as well. Okay, Oculus. Oh no, that's so many blockers, dude. That's so many blockers. Also, Overprotect acting as actual protection too, not just trample, so yeah. Guys, I think I'm going to activate the Pride's ability. Oh, Armored Scrapgorger isn't bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to activate the Pride of Clade's ability here. See what they end up blocking, and then surprise them with some trample. Look at their board state, guys. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. All right, it lost Defender. Let's do this. Let's do this. Full swing. With the Overprotect in hand. Try to go for the victory this turn. All right, full swing. Yeah, because we're like in danger from all their flyers too if we don't put the pressure on. See what they end up doing. Can't swing with the Llanowar Elves. We need that mana for the Overprotect. Oh, if they just go for the chump on the Pride. No, they're gonna block. That's it. That's it. Trample, bro. I thought they were gonna block more. Wait a minute, they have something in hand? Spell Pierce! No! Spell Pierce, how could you? How could you Spell Pierce? Good game. Good game. That was good, opponent. I wasn't even thinking twice that they could have a counterspell. I was thinking just removal, right? Oh, Spell Pierce. What a champion, dude. What a card. Man. That was really good, opponent. That was really good. That's a fun one. Anyways, let's keep the ball rolling. So they were completely anticipating I guess us to do a combat trick, right? They had that open for a very, very good reason. There's definitely something to be said about when I actually used my Spell Pierce too on their memory rather than saving it for their recommission when that came time or their second helping hand when that came time too, right? So it's a lot going on in that game. And honestly, the deck list totally performed, right? Like we're kind of doing the thing. All right, I'm going to give this a shot. We're going to start with a couple sharp-eyed rookies. Yeah, we don't see Spell Pierce very often, but when we do... Oh, their turn 1 was a Soulstone Sanctuary. Interesting. Not giving us any information for their turn 1, I suppose. It's going to be a swamp. Sharp-eyed rookie is out of here. All right, Sharp-eyed rookie number 2, this time with a Spell Pierce open. Okay, we can safely get the Verge down. See if we can keep this one around and then boost the rookie. And then at that point, too, the extra clue would come in handy. Momentum Breaker. Worth it. I hope they don't have a cut down. Still got 1 mana open. Nice. All right. Sanctum. More mana is terrible. It's really, really bad, but we'll play it. And we'll get the Scrapgorger down. I guess maybe I should have played the untapped so we had the clue for the turn. It's just like we didn't have a lot to do, so getting the tapped land, I don't know, kind of muscle memory at that point. Nowhere to run, picks up the rookie. Oh dear. Scrapgorger? Opponent. Opponent's rocking only removal, guys. All right, let's start with the card draw. See, we could have done this last turn if I would have just played... Oh, it's just more tapped land anyways, which again, I'm going to play that, especially now that we don't have anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the top 12. And I think we have 23 mana in here, but I might be wrong. Something to check at some point. All right, we can play the island. And Turtle's not bad, but we're in danger, dude. We're in big, big danger. 4 pieces of spot removal. We were only able to protect against 1 of them. Some big turtles off the top probably won't pull us back from this one. It's a Sanctum, guys. Okay, well, we can safely play that, and we could die. We could die. Let's see, because Bloodletter's getting in for 4. Unholy Annex is getting in for 4. Liliana. I guess they go -2. Maybe they go plus.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
Sheoldred are going to hit us for 2 on our turn. Oh, buddy. Yeah, we'll sacrifice the Llanowar Elves. It's fine. It's fine, guys. I'm pretty sure we are well out of this game. If we do have 24 mana in here... Oh, holy cow, the Flood. That is brutal. Yeah, if we do have 24, then we want to consider 23, especially with all our early creature ramp. But I'm pretty sure we have 23 in here. I guess I could check. Double check after this game real quick, right? They don't even have to... You didn't have to kill the turtle, opponent. Okay, that's just mean, bro. You didn't have to.
Drop it.
Oh, good game, opponent. Jeez, man. My poor turtles. That's really funny. That flood was bad enough that I am concerned. So I am gonna double check real quick here. Usually I say more testing required, but that was a pretty significant flood, wasn't it? Double check. 23. Okay, yeah. We're fine. We're fine. I don't think we want to go under 23. Oh, guys, hey, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel, so thank you, thank you. Heck yeah, dude, I like this hand. Opponent dropped the mulligan. Wow. This is another one of those hands where we could totally... Well, let's see here. Okay, Hedge Maze. We could keep the Into the Flood Maw open and get the Scrapgorger down, or we could just get the Hedge Maze. That makes more sense to me. Let's see what's on top. More mana, I don't mind. But with 2 creature ramp, right? I'm going to send it, especially after that last game too, right? Oh, what am I doing? There we go, Scrapgorger. Yeah, I doubt they remove both of these, and if they remove one of these, then the other one can still ramp us into the Bedrock Tortoise, which should be pretty good, I'd say. All right, Sanctum on top. Glad I sent the mana, huh? And at that point, use the Llanowar Elves. Looks like Auto Tapper knows what's up. Nice. Swing with Scrapgorger. Let's do this. All right. Esper colors, guys. I'm scared. We have no protection available for our creatures. Esper Pixie has been an absolute menace, so we'll see what they pull off here. Oh, they pass it back. We got Hexproof, Pride of Hall Clade. Aye, buddy. What you doing here, man? You thinking about getting us some card draw? I'm down. Let's do this. Whoop, buddy, it lands. Holy cow. Holy cow. I'm excited. It's a flanker. Nice. Opponent. They can now block the tortoise so we won't draw 6 here. Dude, I'd say that was all worth it though, right? That was all worth it. Yeah, they chumped the tortoise. They go down to 16. Good play, opponent. I wasn't anticipating a flash creature. Maybe I should have been. I was thinking Esper Pixie. Now, I don't know what we're up against. They call Demon on Cavern. Okay. Well, this turn, we'll have Into the Flood Maw open. I guess Pride of Clade. That way we can swing with it as well. We want it to lose Defender, right? So let's see if we got this. They got 4 open. So another flash creature. See what they do with it, and then we tempo it out, right? I guess we could do that now. They're going up to 18 here. They still got this one open. I don't know what this could be, man. I guess it could be a flash creature that could jump the 15/15. There are 1 blue mana flash creatures in Standard right now, right? I'm pretty sure. Dude, so far, I'm glad I opted for all the tempo in here. That's like the best part of the deck list as we're trying to set up the combos with the tortoise and everything, right? Opponent has exited the building, guys. They're stuck on the scry too, actually. So with the flanker being in the deck list, I mean, it's like I said, at that point, since we don't know what we're up against, you have to anticipate anything from the opponent. It could be literally Esper Flash, right? They just have a whole bunch of flash creatures packed in. And yeah, all they would need for the turn is to chump the 15/15. Outside of that, it doesn't look like they're going to have it, as the opponent is running down the last of their timer. Here it is. All right, Scry kept 2 on top. Big ol' swing. Oh, man. That's fun. That's fun. Well, cool. It's kind of doing the thing, isn't it? It's doing it well. Even in the losses, like, you know, it's not terrible. The flood was pretty bad, but that's going to happen, you know? Let's go one more. I'd love to end on that beautiful high note, but win or lose, I'm really satisfied with what the deck list was able to showcase here today. Really fun stuff every time we revisit Bedrock Tortoise and everything. It's a really neat card, isn't it? Something I wouldn't mind going against, maybe like a super aggressive build, right? Well, number 1, it would be a faster game. But number 2, I want to see how well our big old chunky creatures can actually help us survive that early onslaught of Heartfire heroes and stuff, you know? No green source. Other words, I would have loved this hand. Triple Turtle. How can we pass up Triple Turtle, bro? Now we got a mulligan, find that green. There we go. Oh. This is not the greatest hand. Crap. Okay, we should keep it. I can't go down to 5. Send a Verge, and I hope that's okay. Just based on how we've been drawing mana, right? Sharp-Eyed Rookie, I keep that on top. Yeah, we can't start with Verge because it's just a blue source, so we won't have the Llanowar Elves. You want to start with the Hedge Maze. Hey, Heartfire Hero, wait a minute, Heartfire Hero, wait. I need my big creatures first. Oh, crap, dude. Okay, we're going to go double Llanowar Elves and see if we can top deck. See if we can top deck a Bedrock Tortoise. Oh, no. I asked for this, guys. Oh. Oh, I'll take that trade all day, dude. All day. Who cares about the top deck Bedrock Tortoise? Get that Heartfire Hero off the board. All right. Although, If we would have kept Llanowar Elves around, it doesn't matter, dude. You have a trade into Heartfire Hero, you take it. Unless Heartfire Hero is already an 8/8, in which case, uh-oh. All right, Sharp-Eyed Rookie. All right, we'll swing. I guess. That 1 point in damage could matter. They dropped the GGs. I believe them. They dropped Slickshot show off, right? We're at 19, so 3 mana. Boost number 1. Boost number 2. Swing for 8. It's not game if they throw. Oh yeah, it is game. It is. If they throw it, it goes up to 10. Crap, a good game, opponent. Well, that's gonna happen from time to time, huh? And that's a beautiful example, right? I just got done saying I wouldn't mind going up against super aggro because I wanted to see how our creatures can help us survive against it. The opponent was playing a deck list where our turtles wouldn't have helped us at all. They would have just been 0/5s on the ground looking up as Slickshot Show Off flew by. And first of all, too, this was a really, really good lineup for the opponent. So no matter what deck list we're playing, no matter what our cards would have looked like, it would have been pretty difficult to pull anything off, especially after a mulligan, especially after losing our tempo, our bounce off, all that, right? So by having all that early game tempo, you guys can really see why we have all that early game tempo. That would keep us in that game for sure. All right. Well, we couldn't end on a high note, but I'm okay. I'm fine, guys. Everything's fine. Let's go end a video pack. What we got? Oh, Glory's Past. There's one I haven't played with yet. Cool. I wonder if that's my 4th one. All right, guys. Simic Turtles. Big old tough Simic. I liked this. This was a lot of fun, dude. It's always fun to visit Bedrock Tortoise, but then I think this is the first one that I've put together with the Aegis Turtle that came out from Foundations. I don't think I've played with this little guy yet. He's just so adorable. He's a 0/5/1 mana card, guys. That's actually pretty good stats, but it has to be in the right build. This is definitely the right build with the Bedrock Tortoise, of course. Same concept with the Coral Tyrant 0/8. That's just ridiculous, dude. That's silly, silly nonsense, but can't really do much with it outside of a Bedrock Tortoise build, you know, or another build that also has that same ability as the bottom of the Tortoise. I actually really liked the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. I would have loved to see this do a little bit more today. Didn't get to see it do too much. And similar concept with Trash the Town, just kind of chilling in hand. Dude, I thought for sure that we were going to win that game when I dropped the Overprotect on the Pride, but the opponent had Spell Pierce. I'll tell you what, man, Spell Pierce as a 2/of, I'm keeping it in here. I guess you could do your counterspell of choice. Maybe you prefer just having Negate, I guess, right? But there's a lot of moments where you'll only be able to keep open 1 mana at a time. It really depends. What does your board state usually look like, and what kind of curve is the deck list actually pulling off to? I think with our creature lands, and I think how it was curving out, I think more often than not, you're just going to be able to keep open 1 mana maybe. And that's actually pretty good, because then that 1 mana that's open is also 1 mana that you could use for your other tempo spells like Bounce Off and Into the Flood Maw as well. 6 bounce spells in here, making a lot of sense to me as the removal, because surprisingly, that sometimes that's all it takes. Remove the last couple pieces of the opponent's board state that they were really hoping to block with, and now they can't, right? And then the one creature that they do block with, maybe you're giving trample to one of your creatures too. Maybe that was your whole turn. I do like the 1 Overprotect and 2 Trash the Town for the trample, but I suppose those could also be your cards of choice that give trample. I don't know what that would look like. Do you want Audacity in here? Maybe, probably not. I guess putting an Audacity on a turtle could be pretty cool, but yeah, something to consider. There's a lot of cards that you could just trade out and probably still be relatively successful with it. And by relatively successful, guys, I'm sticking to it. This is janky. It's gotta be. It's gotta be, man. There's no way. There's no way that it's like actually, you know, competitive or anything, but who cares if it's janky? It was still a lot of fun. So on that note, do you want to put it on the do not craft list? I'd say yes. I'd say put it on the craft a little bit less list based on your collection, and I think you'd probably have a pretty good time with that. A lot of the cards are actually relatively budget friendly, Turtle being common, Bounce Off being common, Into the Flood Maw's uncommon, uncommon for Spell Pierce, Llanowar Elves is common, unless you got the fancy pants version here, and then uncommon for Trash the Town, uncommon for Coral Tyrant, uncommon for Scrapgorger, uncommon for Overprotect, and then here's the rares. We got Sharp-Eyed Rookie, Bedrock Tortoise, Greenshell, and Pride of Clade. And the mana base, of course, too, right? Which the mana base overall felt pretty good. I definitely would not go up any mana, and if anything, I would go down to 22 and opt for even more tempo. And you know what? On that note, if I went down to 22, I'd actually consider 1 negate, and I'd keep the 2 Spell Pierce. It's just, there are so many non-creature spells that you would love to counter all the time, no matter what. We had, like, maybe we missed the Bounce Off in that last game, and we still had Spell Pierce in our hand or something. Then we probably would have opted to keep Spell Pierce open for that turn, right? Probably. And then we could have countered the Callous Sellsword Adventure, and we would still be in that match, which is crazy to think about, dude. Really like Spell Pierce, and if I went down to 22 mana, I'd think about going up that 1 of negate, and I think it would actually be a pretty decent counterspell addition in here too. You could also consider counterspells that actually can counter creatures too. Since we're bouncing the opponent's creatures back to their hand, it wouldn't be terrible to actually be able to counter those creatures when they try to play them the second time around. Also, countering creatures that have ETB effects is pretty important too, when there are a lot of ETBs floating about. Whew, a lot to say about this one, huh? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. What would you add or take out? What does your big old booty turtles look like? Yeah, what does your Simic Turtles deck list look like? Let me know in the comments. Did Sharp-Eyed Rookie make the cut? Yeah, this is one too. Like, this is one of the rares of the deck list. Like, base it on your collection for sure. It doesn't have to be Sharp-Eyed Rookie. It could be a 4th Scrapgorger. And then you still have 3 open slots for maybe even more tempo or something. Or maybe there's another toughness creature that you have in your collection that you've been meaning to try out. Perfect. Trade that in. Just be careful though. Remember, Sharp-Eyed Rookie is kind of the alternative to when we miss the Bedrock Tortoise. Like, how else are we going to push that damage through type of thing? If we miss the Tortoise, the Sharp-Eyed Rookie was that concept. So we did not get to pull off the turn 2 Pride of Clade today, and I'm not surprised at all. That's going to be pretty rare. So again, yeah, it looks like a turn 1 Sanctum. There's a blue, right? And a green, so you can play the Llanowar Elves on turn 1. And then turn 2, you're going to use your blue, and then hopefully you have another blue, right? So an island from your hand, or another Sanctum, or a Verge. Either way, you want double blue in your mana at that point, but you still needed the turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Anyways, turn 2 looks like double Aegis Turtle, right? So now you have 11 total toughness on the board. Then you use the Llanowar Elves green mana to play the 1 mana Pride of Clade. All on turn 2. It's just not going to happen very often. It's in the deck list, so it's really cool. So I wanted to go over it one more time. Also liked the Demolition Field, actually came in handy today, right? Popped a Restless, and also helped us thin the deck list. And then another thing that Demolition Field does when you are thinning the deck list and everything is you're grabbing a basic land as well. So maybe your Verges are holding you up a bit by only being blue. Demolition Field might actually be able to get you there a little bit, right? You just never know. And I think, honestly, these Verges might be the reason we're seeing the uptick in Demolition Field, but probably not. We are seeing a lot of utility lands that we just don't mind popping with this at all. So the split in the mana base over here, did I talk about this at the beginning? I forget, right? We're kind of treating the Verge as just extra islands. So we're kind of looking at it as like an even split, but we're leaning green anyways. So it makes a lot of sense, especially when you're trying to get that turn 1 Llanowar Elves, like no matter what. So, and you're looking at that turn 1 Llanowar Elves and you're like, well, what are you doing? Not ramping to a 3-drop. Like, what's the point? The point is you can play a 2 mana card and still keep one of your 1 mana tempo spells open. And that should be really, really good. At that point, if you keep one of those 1-mana tempo spells open, there's a good chance Llanowar Elves sticks around. Turn 3, 3rd mana, ramp into the Bedrock Tortoise. It's pretty good, man. Especially if your turn 2 looked like a Scrapgorger or a Coral Tyrant. Especially a Coral Tyrant, right? All right, guys. Enough rambling, huh? I guess I had a lot to say about this one. Yeah, definitely let me know what you thought down in the comments. And if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.